Okay, we're live. We're ready. Here we go. We are set for round 3 of RPL F1 Season 9. And we are at a fun track, to say the least. We are at the streets of Baku in Azerbaijan. And this is the RPL Azerbaijan Grand Prix, here live on Twitch. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. I am Titan Ironwolf on deck for commentary today, and this is where things is going to get really fun. So, we've had this is our third round of competition, and so far, first two rounds have already been very spicy, to say the least. Literally, in regards to Ferrari versus Red Bull. So in round 1 in Australia, the Chiller wound up crossing the line first, but post-race penalties wound up demoting him out, which wound up giving that win to TB. And speaking of TB, he won again in Jeddah with a last lap final corner bonsai attack on Scyther and claimed victory in what was a thrilling race last week in Jeddah, but also one of the most destructive. 8 finishers finished that race, and yeah, 8 finishers wound up finishing that race, and there was only so here we go. So, let's see. So, sorry about that. Had some issues with the mic, I think. Oh, yep. I think we're okay. Maybe. I'm not sure. Oh. It's because this thing's like 35 seconds behind. Anyway, so 8 finishers in Jeddah last week. It was TB that won, Scyther second, and crazily, Will was third. And it was been a long time since he wound up winning the race, getting onto the podium. So, now let's take a look at the championship standings. So, TB currently leading the charge with the championship lead at 50 points. Cryptic is currently sitting in second with 22, and then it is a 3-way tie between Reese and Scyther with 18 points. Oh, and Mindaris is in there as well. So 3-way tie for third. Alright, so anyways, now for Red Bull, they are leading the constructors with 68 points. Aston Martin is sitting second with 37, and Ferrari is currently sitting in third with 36. And so far, every team has scored points except one, that being the Haas team. So the Haas team has yet to score any points in this race, in this season. So let's take a look at our drivers that are taking part today. So we have 18 right now. We're gonna have 2 more join in later on, but let's get a load of our group. So currently kicking off, we have HSR Gecko and a McLaren, a returning driver. It's been a long time since we saw him race in regards to RPL. Bourbon is in the AlphaTauri. Josh H. Returning back to Mercedes. This will be interesting to see how well he does, because he did pretty decently last season in one of those cars. Now we have other drivers, so we have TB in Red Bull, Zakaria in the Williams, AFJ Mercedes, George in Alpine. Now this driver here, Blue Gagi, he is a reserve, was supposed to serve a quality ban, but he's currently on a time lap, which means, as of right now, Blue Gagi is now disqualified from the entire Azerbaijan GP event, so he will not be counted. Fanflo in the Lone Haas, Darius in Ferrari, and AlphaTauri. Reese in the other Red Bull goes fastest. And what are the... I'm not sure what the heck was going on with the AlphaTauris. I think they moved that away from somebody. Oh, that's why, the Alfa Romeo there. That was a little confusing, to say the least. De Chiller in the Ferrari, Redfire in the McLaren, Kipu in the Williams, Scyther in Ferrari, Tadpole in Alpine, and then Jack and Stenner in the Alfa Romeos. So, that means... So we have 19 drivers going to be showing up later on. The 2 that will be showing up later is going to be Blonde. He'll be showing up during the Q3 part of this session. Now, he has a quality ban that he still had to serve from last season, but since he's joining in the middle of qualifying, it'll count. His ban will be served. The other driver that was set to take part is Beatnik. Unfortunately, he has power troubles, so he is not here yet and might be showing up. If he is unable to come back, then Depth Knight will be taking his place. Alright, so we have about 8 minutes 15 seconds left to go in Q1. So only the bottom two are going to be eliminated from qualifying. So by the looks of it, it is we have a couple drivers yet to set their laps. Tadpole has done that, just that. So that leaves just one more left, and Red Fire puts it on there. So currently, Stenner is in the bottom two with no time set, and Alex Fox is in there as well, as him and Josh H set their time lapse. Set their time lapse on intermediate tires, so they're gonna have to go onto a new set of sauce and try again. And that's actually what Josh H is doing. So here he goes. Let's see what Josh has, and he's over almost 2.3 seconds up in Sector 1. So we'll see how much further he goes up by as we move forward. Now, one thing that these drivers have to take note of is the castle where Josh just went through a few seconds ago. That section is going to be extremely tight, as TB has decided to call it in the pits. He has a 41.4, and he is 4th in Q1 and is definitely, way definitely, good enough to get into Q number 2. 5.5 seconds improvement for Josh H. That's going to put him in the 42, so that's going to put him right in that midfield. I'd say probably right around where Zakaria is, but that's in Sector 2, though. So we're going to see a time in the 40s, that's for sure, as Josh H. is just coming across the line now, and is 5th fastest, 41.821. What about his teammate? Oh, no, but his teammate is still on the inters, and yet to get back out there. Now, Kepu is just starting his next lap, as more drivers are filing into place here. Let's see, the Chiller has called it. He is sitting in 2nd, so he is way clear to get into queue number 2. Let's see, who's next? Oh, there's Zakaria. Here comes Zakaria coming across the line. And no change in his time. No change in his time, but he's doing okay. Let's see what kind of a time he did set that last lap. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at that lap time. 42. Well, even if that time was legit, it didn't. He invalidated somewhere. I mean, there's not many spots to invalidate on this track. I mean, these corners there that Kipu just went through, those are chances to invalidate. Now, here is where you can invalidate, and that's in these corners here. If you take it a little too hard or turn too early in this one. Now, if I was a betting person, I would probably say I would not be surprised if in this fast chicane we see at least, I'd say at least 1 or 2 DNFs in that chicane. Okay, so sorry about that. Just had to put a quick note in the contract. We have one development. We have one new development in the Tier 1 section. One driver is now out of a seat. Casper, who is in the Haas, who's supposed to be in Haas, has no show for 3 races in a row, and therefore he has been relieved of his duties at Haas. So, with just under 2.5 minutes to go, let's take a look. So, AFJ is currently on a lap, Red Fire on an out lap, Tadpole currently on his time lap, Tadpole currently in the 14th position. So Stenner has to go, apparently didn't get out. The reason being is because he has dinner and he's currently eating, so he is unable to come out and get a time done. So Stenner is eliminated from qualifying. Now that just leaves only one slot left. Now I say it's gonna be between. It's gonna be between Kipu, Tadpole, Red Fire. It's gonna be between one of those 3. Because AFJ, he's gonna put that Mercedes in the top 5 once his time lap is set and done. Let's go on board with Tadpole right now. He's roaring his way down. Let's get the telemetry up as he's getting that Alpine up to 216 up to that corner, and he advanced up to only 13th place. So Kipu is currently in the pit right now, so he's gonna have to hold. He's gonna have to hope on a position, to say the least. So here we go. So Red Fire currently on his run, AFJ on his. So for these 2 drivers, I think if they really want to be safe, they're gonna have to beat a 43.162 in order to stay in, and I think Red Fire just clonked the wall in the castle. And yeah, he has slowed down. He's abandoned the lap. So I think sadly Red Fire is done with qualifying. Well, that is super unfortunate. A mistake cost Red Fire dear. And here comes AFJ to come across the line. Where will he be for Q2? And 7th fastest. So, Stenner, Red Fire eliminated for the slowest times, and Blue Gagi disqualified from the entire event for failing the server ban. So that is the end of Q1, and the top 3, it is Scyther, DeChiller, and Reese on top. And the top 5, hard to believe, the top 5 is only separated by not even half a second. So once George is going to be in the pits, we will be all set with Q1, and we'll be going into Q2 right after this. Alright, so we are up and ready to go for Q2. And looks like it is going to be Gecko to come out on track first. And he's got quite a line behind him. He's got Jack, Reese, Josh right behind, immediately behind. And looks like Jack has decided, nah, I'm gonna take lead this time. And a lot of other drivers are just pouring out onto the circuit. The Ferraris are out on track. Let's see, both Mercs are out. It's a lot of good people out on track. It's going to be quite interesting to see who will be going through into Q3 when it's all said and done. Now, I think I'm going to go make my predictions now. Who do I think is going to be eliminated from Q number 2? Well, I really hate bashing on him, but I think Tadpole is going to be one of the 5 eliminated from Q2. Kipu, I have a good feeling most likely he's not going to make it. He was 15th after Q1, so I don't think he's going to advance much further. Let's see. I think Fanflo is just going to miss out on Q3 as well. I think he's going to just miss out. I say the difference between 10th and 11th in the Q3 cutoff is probably going to be like under 0.2 of a second. So, Tadpole, Kipu, Fanflo. I hate to rake on him as well, but I think possibly Jack will be knocked out of Q2. But as for the last person to be eliminated from Q2, I'm gonna go shot in the dark. I am going to say, I'm probably gonna say either Ads or Gecko will be knocked out. But let's go on board with Jack as he makes his way into the castle section. Now, apparently, word is that this, from last game, the castle is narrower than it was last game. So this is going to test the skills of quite a few drivers. I mean, in Q1, we already saw Red Fire get caught out by clunking the right rear on that wall. So, it's a mess, I will admit. But let's just hope that, hopefully, I don't know. Like I said, this chicane, we're going to see at least 2 DNFs in that part of the chicane. Castle, I wouldn't be surprised if it claimed 1 DNF. But I know it's going to, a few cars are going to get damaged. And Jack sets the benchmark with a 42.4. Reese responds with a 41.1. And Gecko, 42.3. Josh with a 41.8. AJ, 41.9. The Chiller, 42.1. TB, 41.6. So Red Bulls showing good pace, but only separated by 0.5 of a second. And it looks like Scyther's getting some help. Yep, got some help courtesy of Fanflo, and he goes top of the board with a 40.3. Now, that's our first 40 that we saw in this session. Now, here comes Tadpole. He's got, I believe that's Kipu right behind, who's going to start his time lap. Tadpole goes 10th fastest. Yeah, it was Kipu. So, no, it wasn't Kipu. It was, what was that? No, it was Ads. Okay. Okay, it was Ads that was there. Ads and Bourbon, I think. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I had it mixed up. My fault on that. Anyways, Kipu's just starting his time lap now. So that's going to mean we have 4 drivers yet to set a lap. Currently, Bourbon and Kipu, they are on track, setting their laps as we speak. George and Fanflo made mistakes. They're going to have to come back out and try again. Okay, so Bourbon currently working through Sector 2 as we speak. And here he comes, working on through. Bourbon, some history with Bourbon for those that are new to RPL watching our streams. Bourbon is the season 11 F2 champion. Now there is quite a lot of champions in this field. We have Scyther, who is a 2-time champion. Reese, a F2. Scyther is a 2-time Tier 1 champion and a F2 champion. Reese is an F2 and Tier 2 champion, but yet to secure a Tier 1 championship. It's Bourbon slows at the field with a 48-1. I think he made a mistake and has decided to try again later on. TB, the defending F1 champion, came close to a Tier 2 championship a couple years ago. The Chiller, the inaugural Tier 1 champion. Jack, a multi-time Tier 2 champion and a past F2 champion. Dabpole, the Season 7 Tier 2 champion. And that's some of the champions that are in this group. And yeah, so it's quite a stacked field, I will admit. There's quite a bunch of champions, a lot of experienced drivers. It's just wild on what you can see from this group of acclimated drivers. Kipu, by the way, is currently 11th fastest with a 43.4. So he is going to have to probably try again to get out of the current bottom 5. Bourbon is about 5.4 seconds up, so that's going to be in the 42s. That's going to put him just ahead of Kipu currently, but I think he could crack the top 10 on this final stretch as he's coming down the front straight, gets to about 2:15, and he is 6th fastest with a 42.1. That puts him just 9 thousandths of a second ahead of the Chiller as of right now. Now Fanflo is going to have to retry another lap as he invalidated. George is currently on an out lap. Kipu is currently returning back to the pits to try again. Jack is going to restart on a new lap. So we have quite a bunch of drivers currently retrying new laps. As drivers are just working their way through and getting themselves started up. So 5.5 minutes left to go in Q2. Currently the bottom 5, it is Jack, Kipu, Tadpole, George, and Fanflo. Fanflo and George still yet to set a lap at this moment. But Fanflo currently on a new lap now. And George is currently going through turn 3 as we speak. George going around into turn number 3. Fanflo just entering turn 3. So George now into turn 6. Gets himself back up into the speed. Now up into 7. He goes into 8, 9, and 10 for the castle. Decent as he works his way forward. Just getting that speed up.
Now into a tricky corner here. I wouldn't be surprised if this corner claims some damaged cars in the race. George's time was looking pretty decent. I wonder where he's going to be. I mean, knowing him, he's probably going to put that car in the top 5. Jack just put that Alfa Romeo in 4th. Josh is 3rd. Darius in 2nd. And George just put it in 4th. Let's see what Fanflow's got. As he's roaring down the main straight. And Fanflow only 13th. So Fanflow having some struggles, to say the least. TB's rocketing down the main straight. Oh, don't be starting a new lap. Okay, never mind. Scyther's going to be redoing his lap as well. But yeah, the Chiller and Scyther, the only 2 drivers to get themselves into the 40s. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a time hit the 39s. I would not be surprised if that does happen. To see a time in the 39s. Anyway, so 2 minutes 45 seconds left to go in this Q2 session. So Gecko, Fanflow, Ads, Kipu, and Tadpole are currently at risk. Zakaria, by the way, up into 6th place in that Williams. A very strong time showing there. Now TB is currently sitting 8th on this board, and he is almost 4/10 down in Sector 1. So TB is not having a good time in Sector 1. Let's see what he's got in Sector 2, though. That time is still over. And oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my. TB just spins it out of the final corner, out of that corner of Sector 3. And that is the end of TB. Oh my goodness. That was a gnarly crash. But now that just opens up the door to everyone else. They're going like, hey, the championship leader is out. This gives us a chance to improve our positioning. But unfortunate for TB, out. And, oh, Gecko screwed up. Gecko made a mistake in turn 1. Basically, Lewis Hamilton it, and that's gonna cost him. Oh yeah, with a minute ago, yeah, Gecko is gonna be out. Fanflow is gonna be out as well. Here comes Kipu. He's gonna start his. He's starting his final lap. But hard to believe, a Williams going through into Q3, and Alfa Romeo into Q3. Here comes Tadpole now. Ooh, did he kiss the wall? 2.8 seconds up. 2.8 seconds. That's putting him in the 42s. It's going to put him at 42.5. Which is only good enough for 13th. It's only good enough for 13th right now. He's going to have to put some major power down in this final stretch. Here he comes across the line. Oh, and he just missed out. 41.997. And Tadpole is done. Is done in qualifying. So Tadpole, Gecko, Fanflow eliminated. Let's see about Kipu and Bourbon. Can they improve their times? Kipu is currently not gaining much. He's only 100th off in Sector 1. Here he comes into Sector 2. It's only a 10th over, and that's not going to help him. And he went off track. That's not helping him at all. Reese goes on top of the board with the 39, as expected. Let's see what Kipu's got. I don't think he's gonna move from where he is. Bourbon currently roaring down the front straight. I mean, I'm surprised his teammate didn't get the chance to help him, but Kipu, 15th, he's done. There comes Bourbon across the line, and it is seventh fastest. And unfortunately, right now, this is going to eliminate AFJ right now, but he's coming down the track now. He has to just beat TB's time of a 41.668, and he does, 4th fastest. So TB, unfortunately, is going to be starting 11th after this event, after qualifying is all done. We just caught that on our stream. He just came out of that corner, the first corner, sector 3, caught the curb, and the curb just decided to munch on him. And TB went around and crashed out. That is really bad. So TB crashed out. Tadpole, Gecko, Fanflow, and Kipu, slowest of the group. And that is the end. That is going to be the end of queue number 2. And we will be going up into Q3 in just a moment. So top 3, it is Reese, Scyther, and the Chiller. There is Blonde. So Blonde is here. So Blonde will be starting in the 19th position. Well, technically 18th, but he is not here. And we'll be ready to go for Q3. Alright, so here we go on Q3, and looks like our first driver to start his time is going to be AFJ. So AFJ is going to be the guinea pig of the Q3 group. Now, AFJ last season raced a few times, was doing pretty decently, up until Belgium last season, where he intentionally DNF'd Blonde under safety car, wound up being banned for the rest of the season because of that. But ever since his return back, ever since he came back into it, he's currently sitting in 12th right now in that Mercedes with only 4 points to his name. But hopefully he may be looking to improve those odds in this race upcoming. So, who do I think is going to be the top dog after qualifying? You know what? I'm gonna go dead on exact order. As looks like the chiller just went off. Nope, that's Scyther that went off. Well, he is on an outlap, so that's probably why he went off. Anyways, so I'm gonna go in exact order. I think it is going to be Chiller in third, Reese second, and Scyther first. Now, the difference between Scyther and Reese is going to be very tight. I'd say at least a tenth of a second between the two. But anyways, the Chiller sets currently fastest 41.321. And Alex Fox, second fastest with a 41.382, adds 42.714. So, the Chiller and AFJ separated by only 0.06 of a second. Scyther is currently on his run. Let's see, Reese is currently going through the fast chicane right now. Let's see where everybody is right now. Let's see, Jack is going to be the next. Well, actually, Bourbon is going to be next to cross the line. Then it'll be Jack. Let's see what Bourbon's got for a time. Looks like it's going to be in the slowest. 43.272. As for I'm thinking what pole time is going to be. I think pole time is going to be probably just slightly higher than Reese's Q2 time. I'm going to say a 40, in the range of a 40, no. Range is going to be a 39.98 to a 40.17. That's what I think is going to be the pole time, somewhere in that range. That's basically a tenth of a second buffer there. Scyther, 40.5. That puts him fastest right now, and 0.8 clear of his teammate. Reese is currently on his way through. And working his way up into the next corner. Now, we can't really trust the purple notifications on there. It'll literally say anybody's going fastest in that sector. Zakaria and Josh H. are currently on their outlaps. And they are currently in the start of Sector 3 as we speak. And here comes Reese to come across the line. And a 40.1. So that is Reese for pole right now, with just over 5 minutes to go. Difference between Scyther and Reese, 0.4 of a second. And Reese is currently on the high side of the buffer range, of the buffer pole range that I have predicted. The Chiller is coming back out onto the circuit. Zakaria and Josh are just starting their time lapse now. And Jack is just heading off into the pits. we'll have to wait and see on what is going to be happening as we work our magic through. So, Zakaria currently going through Sector 2 right now. Now heading towards the castle, into the castle. Ooh, pretty close. Pretty close to those walls, but kept it off them, so he should be okay and good. We have someone going slow. That is George. He's going slow because he is probably out of fuel and heading back to the pits. Now Zakaria is going to be coming up on Reese shortly. Zakaria comes out of the corner now into the fast chicane. Reese is probably he's gonna see Reese right. Yep, there he is. I'll get past. He's already nearing maxing out those revs. Gets it to about 214 and is 7th fastest. Not a bad time there. And AFJ responds with and Josh H responds with a 3rd fastest, 40.8. So that is our 3rd driver in the 40s. See what the Chiller's guys. Let's see if the Chiller can improve on his timing. 41.3. That is up 4/10, so that's going to be in a 40.9. As he's working up. Now he's got Josh just ahead. Josh is standing around in the castle. I think the Chiller is going to have to try to get out of that dirty air poured out by that Mercedes. And Josh moves out of the way. Now into the next couple of corners. I think that dirty air is going to cost the Chiller some time. Well, slight improvement. He gained an extra 10. Now that is going to put him ahead of Josh right now. He passes the Williams of Zakaria. Here comes the Chiller across the line, and it is a 40.6. 1/10 separates Scyther and the Chiller up into 3rd. And with 90 seconds left, well, we know we will not be seeing Josh and Zakaria for the rest of this session. So Josh currently is going to be 4th place, and Zakaria at the moment is going to be sitting in 8th. Now the Chiller, unfortunately, will not be able to get another lap, so that means pole is going to be decided by either Scyther or Reese. Or will we be thrown a curveball? Because we've seen George get very close in Q1, and we saw Jack put on a strong time in Q2. But I mean, I think Jack is probably going to be right around maybe the 6th or 7th spot. Maybe he might crack top 5. George might be capable of putting that Aston in the top 3. It just all depends on what is going to happen. But as these cars are roaring into place to get their last set of laps done, now Jack has an invalidated lap. He can't make it to the line in time, and he will with 4 seconds left. So Ads is going to be the first driver to set. Az is going to be the first driver to set to cross the line to finish his time lapse. There's Bourbon here, and he's got Reese for company. think Bourbon is going to help Reese in the DRS zone. There is no doubt in my mind. I would not be surprised if Bourbon will sacrifice a improved time to help his sister academy teammate get a further extension in the pole time. Adds 1.2 second improvement. So right now, he is currently sitting, he's going to be in 7th right now. Let's see if he can improve further. And here he comes across the line at his 5th fastest for Ads. Next up, Scyther with an invalidation. And had he not invalidated, he would have just got pole by a couple hundredths. Now here comes Reese and Bourbon. Bourbon, 9th fastest. Reese improves to a 39.6. Excuse me. And AFJ on the front row. My goodness. And Jack up in the 6th. So Reese on pole, AFJ is 2nd, Scyther 3rd. That's your top 3. And apparently, we just got word that Chiller, who's 4th, is not happy. Apparently, he would have had an more improved time, but apparently he was blocked by both Sicaria and a Mercedes. And apparently he was blocked more than once. He was blocked in Q1 and in Q3. Wow. Okay, so let's take a look at our group and let's see who is participating in this event for tonight. All right, so for the back row, for row 9, it is going to be Stenner and Blonde making up row number 9. So then next up in row 8, we have Redfire and Kipu. That's row number 9. That's row number 8. Then we have Fatflow and Gecko making up row number 7. Row 6, Tadpole and TB. TB earlier crashed out of Q2 and has to start in the 11th place spot. Zakaria in Q3, good for him. He's still going to be starting in 10th, and he's got Bourbon alongside him for company in 9th. Then next up, we have Ads in the 7th place spot alongside George. He is in 7th. Jack, by the way, in 6th place. Best start for Alfa Romeo this season. And he's got Josh alongside him for company there. It is a Ferrari row 2, and then AFJ and Tap and Reese make up the front row. 5 lights come on, and it's lights out, and away we go. And looks like a great getaway by Reese. Same with Scyther as AFJ covers the insides. They head into turn number 1. Some cars going a little bit wide. Here we go into turn number 2. And looks like AFJ gets ahead. And here goes the Chiller going on the inside attack against both Reese and Josh. The Chiller trying to get himself into the lead, and Reese just goes wide. Reese has gone wide, and into the back, and at the back he goes. Oh my goodness, Reese locked up and gone off in turn 3. Not a good start for Reese. Now the Chiller takes off into the lead. Josh sits in 2nd, AFJ up in the 3rd. Scyther has to settle for 4th for right now. And looks like we had trouble. That is George around. There he is in turn number 7. Now has to unfortunately settle at the back of the field in 18th. Chiller off and roaring away. Josh in pursuit. AFJ there too. Scyther a little ways back, but has time to recover. Jack up into 7th. TB has cleared past his teammate. Oh, we got a smack. That's Gecko into the wall. And Gecko was in 10th when he clocked the wall. And TB, by the way, started 11th. He's already up into 6th. And looks like Fanflow has gone around, as he has in that first corner, basically where TB went off. Here goes Josh Age down the inside and roars off ahead and up into the lead he goes. So it is Josh the Chiller, AFJ, Scyther, Jack, TB, Ads, Bourbon, Zakaria, and Stenner making up the top 10. Now Gecko, Blonde, and Reese have gone into the pits to get some repairs done. I think Reese had got wing damage, so unfortunate for Reese. That is unfortunate there. Oh! It looks like Josh went off into the wall. Did he get help from the Chiller? But AFJ now into the lead. AFJ into the lead. And, uh-oh. What the heck happened? What the heck? I'm not sure what just happened. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be restarting. We just had a nasty glitch. Okay, so I'm gonna have to end stream for a moment so I can get Jack the grid, but we'll be right back.